Before I became ill, I had an active life. I was involved in civic programs, and I was an avid gardener, and I worked as an investigator for the federal government, which kept me very, very busy. And I exercised a lot, and my grandparents raised me the old-fashioned way. And everything had to be neat. My grandfather was a minister, so we never knew when somebody was going to pop in to get married in our living room. So for God's sake, it better be clean at all times. So we were always cooking and cleaning and talking. It was a big, loving family. And I started having problems with my stomach, and so I had to have most of my right intestine removed and all of my left intestine removed, and I was not prepared for that, not at all. So that surgery took away my ability to keep my house clean like I'd been raised to do. And I prayed and prayed for some help, and the children were already doing so much for me that I couldn't get them to stop their lives anymore. They couldn't stop their lives, and there was no time. When I first opened my door and saw what I remember thinking is, this is a gaggle of angels who have appeared on my doorstep. And they came in and they brought energy with them, which helped me come up out of a very despondent state. They cleaned my house. I couldn't ask for better. They listened and they did everything possible, and even did some things I didn't even ask them to do. It meant a great deal. It put me back in a place where I felt in charge, that I could handle things again, and it wasn't all so bad. It wasn't all so gloomy. So I was just so very grateful for their presence here, and not just for the work that they did, but also the energy that they came with was so good for me. They were giggly and they were fun, and they made me feel fun, and I drew off of that energy. So I will be eternally grateful for that for the rest of my days.
Before Friendship Terrace, my parents were living in the area, and my father was the only driver. My mother didn't drive, and he was getting older. My mother was ill, and eventually my mother passed away from kidney disease. Afterwards, it was kind of hard for my father to keep the house in order. We were concerned that he would isolate himself, and he did in very many ways. And my brother and I talked about getting him out of the house because it was falling apart. It needed to be repaired. And we were concerned that if he maybe even fell down the flight of stairs, we wouldn't know about it. After my father came to Friendship Terrace, he was a little apprehensive about everything because he's not used to change. So it took him a little while, but he eventually started to go to the Tai Chi class, to the yoga class, and he looked at a lot of the other activities that they had, that they offered here. And that's the thing, it's like he doesn't make friends easy. So on the times that I've come to pick him up and we'll go out and do things and I bring him back, when we walk into the lobby, I noticed him saying hello to some people, recognizing them and knowing their names, and that gave me a sense of some kind of satisfaction knowing that if he was home, he wouldn't be doing this. And now he's got a circle of friends here that he can enjoy being with, and that's a big plus for his life. My brother and I felt really happy that he was venturing out for one. He had things that he enjoyed here for two, and we felt very good about the fact that if anything happened to my father, good or bad, that we would be notified. And so there was a sense of safety and comfortability in knowing that he was taken care of.
Prior to my getting sick, I used to travel a lot, do a lot of cruises, danced a lot. Matter of fact, I was with the Nubian International Hand Dance Association, and I did a lot of yoga. After my diagnosis for COPD, my life really went down and I got depressed because I wasn't able to do any of those things that I did before. And I couldn't take 10 steps without getting out of breath. My prayer was, what can I do to help myself? And the only answer I got, get out the house. I'm like, I get out the house, where I'm going. Somebody told me about model cities. I said, well, we'll go check them out. And I started coming here. My first class, I sat in the back I got in the back of the room so they couldn't see me when I didn't do everything. And it took me about 4 or 5 months to get into the routine of what they were doing. And now I'm right at the front. I put in over 100 hours a month in the gym. Every month. And like, if y'all didn't know, I'm 67. So, I've come off my medication, I've come off the oxygen, and I'm just grateful and thankful that I had a second opportunity to get this thing right. I think model cities is extremely important to the area. The main reason I think so is because the seniors that live in this area have a mindset that once you're 60 or 70 years old, it's all downhill. That's not true. After you're 60 or 70, it's uphill if you make that decision. You can make that change, and this part of my life is the best part of my life. I'm doing more now than I did when I was 18. I'm traveling, every day I'm doing something socially. Model City has a lot of activities going on. We're going on a lot of trips, and it's inspirational to me. I always tell Stacy, when I come in here with my halter top on, my Daisy Dukes on, don't say nothing to me because I earned it. I earned this.